Is that the
We
fee?
got to create a card game.
Something
Oh
like
my! The May the Zoo be with you card game.
It's a serialized 1 of 2 card, and there's only 1 printed.
Yes.
That's the other wildest theory about.
Let's
That's
go.
okay.
Run it again. I'm sorry, I fucked up.
Run it back. Run it back.
I'm
Whoa,
also,
welcome
I'm also
back.
already through a beer in like the 10 minutes we've been recording. So
That makes sense. Are you also a LeBron James fan? Whoa. Welcome to MTZBWY with you. Welcome back. Are we going again? Welcome back. Take 2 of welcoming back America's most favorite MTG podcast. I'm, of course, joined by the man who knows only goats.
time out. I would like to be Canada's most favorite MTG podcast so that we can get our sorcery boxes as soon as possible. Is that okay?
I am, of course, joined by man who knows only goats get swept in series of 7s. No game 5s here. Gosh!
You got through it much better on the retake. Proud of you.
Yeah.
I know what I'm saying now. Bust out them brooms, son. I am, of course, joined by the man who almost has the fashion sense of a human being, Louis DeGeorge.
I don't get that.
That wasn't great, but it was better.
That
It was better.
Yeah. I got a lot of compliments on the shirt.
And Louis messed it up. There we go. Welcome to MTZBWY with you.
I did screw up the first take, so you guys missed out on 7 minutes of content. But
It was not that good. It was not that good.
It was amazing.
I can't believe you shared all those distro numbers and all those print run numbers, Josh. Thank you for sharing those.
I didn't do that.
Oh, and those Rudy DMs?
Oh my God, that
those,
was amazing,
Louis.
Josh. That was a great 7 minutes.
All right,
Continue, Louis.
Welcome to the Magic the Gathering podcast. Today we're going to chat about Lord of the Rings and about
Novel
Jumpstart
concept.
and about Fanatics buying everything. We believe Fanatics is going to buy all the Pokemons. And Cryptic. No, I don't know. We're not even talking about Pokemon. We'll talk about Cryptic Wicked Prophecy. We'll talk about sorcery and their love for Canada. And we'll talk about Genesis because I know we told you 3 week.
God, take 7. Let's go, baby.
We told you 3 ago.
That we would never talk about Genesis again, but here we are. And
I want everybody to know it's my fault. I love drama.
You got it. You got it on
I
this.
got there's more drama than there are players for Genesis, and it's not even close.
There's so much drama in the TCG world. It's
amazing.
So depressing.
That statement was so much worse this time around.
That's also true.
So much more harsh.
It's true.
Oh my gosh. All right. Let's chat about Lord. What?
How many players can there be of a dead card game?
Listen,
Well,
I don't
it's
know.
not even called Genesis anymore, so 100%.
Tell me
I
you
don't
know
know
anything
if you're a
going on without
trustworthy
telling me
source.
anything's going on.
We talked about this in the first rundown. You're not a trustworthy source. You look like you don't own a home currently.
You look like you came
You
out.
look like you need a place to stay.
You look
and
like
a
you
warm
were
meal and a
dumpster
shower.
diving and you found a crappy shirt.
Okay, well, self-burn, I guess. What is on your face, George? What's going on?
It's the I need a shower beard. It's actually not a beard. It's just dirt.
Like, if you have friends, if you've fallen on hard times, you can call us.
Not me.
Don't
That's-
worry.
I'll just
I'm
make fun of you.
going to call Louis' wife.
You can call me.
like,
I'll send you a deep dish pizza, dude.
if you want to send me pizza, I'll take a pizza. Like, I will never turn down free pizza.
You look like you need it.
So at the arcades, whenever I go there, one of the deals is I always get free food. One of my arcades serves pizza. I've eaten a lot of pizza since I opened that location.
Good
Was
call.
it deep
Pizza.
dish or regular pizza? Because
It's regular pizza, which is not as good. And I'll
deep
concede
dish
that point.
pizza is just soup.
It's the worst comparison. There's so many things you can compare it to, and that's
Make
the
lasagna.
worst one. Also, how do you make soup? You
ever
make
seen-
soup very weird.
Have you ever seen Cube Theory?
Yes. Yeah, I like how we have talked about cube theory on this
Yes.
podcast.
Yeah, deep dish pizza is just a soup. It's defined by the Cube Theory. So, all right, let's chat about Lord of the Rings. What do you guys want to discuss?
I want to talk about how many boxes you're going to open 3 weeks after release. That's all I really care about. Like, what are the numbers on that sucker?
Listen, that's an aftermath disc. Are we talking about aftermath or Lord?
It's
of the
not an aftermath disc.
It was a
You're a
question.
prisoner of the
It was a
moment. That's a
question.
Brothers War disc.
No,
Listen.
that's not what I did for Brothers War. You're wrong. I pre-sold Brothers War cards for a week and a half before release.
And it ruined you. It broke you.
ruin me.
It
broke my
you.
soul. It broke my soul. Not
When
me.
the notification came across my phone.
Like how you're like, no, I was physically fine. I just cried in the bathroom by myself for 5 hours a day. But I was
when the notification came across my phone that I'm opening all my Aftermath. Here's what happened. I went, I'm going to skip the podcast this week. I can't do it.
Listen,
I can't do it.
Aftermath was way easier to open.
Yeah, there's like 4 cards in a box.
Yeah, there's 50.
Yeah.
It was so easy to sort and organize and list. It was insane. I did 3 videos plus opened all the boxes and listed all the cards in less than in a 12-hour window.
Like Wizards of the Coast so good that they brought back the mass box opening.
Listen,
Magic is GOAT.
Nissa is so freaking powerful and pushed that it's gonna save the set unless it comes out in a secret layer next month, which is my take. There's no Halo foil version of Nissa and Karn. It's the only two of the 10 mythics in the set. No Halo foil version. Why is
you know what that means? It's easier to reprint. The Halo foil would make it special because the odds of them going back to do that specific foiling would be more or less than, I guess.
Right, but it also means that like they could easily do a secret layer that are those 2 cards in Halo foil,
or they could do wave 2 of collector boxes
that have the Halo foil.
That would.
Oh my god, the Halo foil was supposed to be in there, but they Pokemoned it up.
Oh my god, that's the Scoopy.
Man, if they do a wave 2 of Aftermath, everything's gonna completely crater.
Those videos are not going to age well.
Listen, I'll make my money on it. It'll be over.
That's not true. We did the math on the first take, and you're like, if I don't include fees, shipping, or time, I broke even.
There's the math right there for you. I made more money
don't
than if I
include fees or shipping or time.
Time doesn't count. My time's not worth anything. I made content. It was all content. I streamed the box opening. I did videos for it. Like it was content for 3 days. It was great.
Why did content creators just get a shot across the bow here?
Louis' self-burns today have been really good.
Not bad. Not bad.
Like, my shirt looks like garbage and my time is worthless. Welcome to MTZBWY with you.
And for those of you who are listening, it is currently Wednesday. I was opening boxes all night last night on Tuesday and listing product all night today on whatever day it is, Wednesday. So I've not slept.
Well, let's talk about a Magic set that's actually going to sell.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings.
Talk about Lord of the Rings.
And Lord of the Rings has already pre-sold $1 million worth of sealed product on TCG Player, which you guys have ostracized me for tracking in the past. I think it's amazing. Not that's not true.
Nobody has done that.
Nobody has. George has not.
I have simply I have simply said you've done 2 things that I've heard you say. You've compared Magic the Gathering to Flesh and Blood in the box sales, and you've compared Magic the Gathering to nothing. And I have just said you should compare to the previous set. That is all I have said.
Yeah, Josh. Have you thought about making a time machine and using your algorithm in the past before you invented it?
That is exactly what happens on every release. It is compared to the previous releases. What is going on in this mad world?
For Brothers War, it was your first set.
Yeah, Josh.
That was the only
thought about making a time machine.
Yes, that's how data aggregation works. That is, yes, you are correct.
That's the only time I criticize it.
I want you to know I was on your team, Josh. I'm switching to Team Louie. I think you should have done the time machine method of data analysis.
Well, when the Doctor Who set drops, I'm going to, and you guys are going to be sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, Josh, what does your data tell you?
Well,
and what does your comment section think about it?
We'll get into. I'll let Louis bring up the comment section.
No, that didn't go well. That didn't go well last time. I'm not bringing it up.
Completely forgot about it. This set is different than the others in one big area. George, you and I have talked about the set box and people's love for cracking packs. The set box is being crushed,
of course,
by the collector box.
Yeah,
by what
dominated. Destroyed by the collector box.
By volume of boxes sold or by amount of money sold?
By volume of boxes sold and obviously the total amount of money that it's bringing in.
Completely unsurprising to me. This is a collector box set.
And that makes sense. But I didn't think it was going to be as wild as it was.
What does it have to do with that?
I think this will be, oh man, am I going to give the hot take? Welcome back, boys and girls. This will be the most collected modern MTG set. Not
So-
played with, collected MTG set.
I think there's evidence of both. You could tell me a world where people want to complete full art versions of the Ring Party or villains or whatever it is. But I think the One Ring and the serialized version of the One Ring is pushing the collector product for now, and we see evidence of that because of the gift bundle. Right? As of the recording of this podcast, the public knowledge is the only special thing in the gift bundle is the collector pack and a foil cardboard box to put your cards in.
What's your Skippy, George?
All right, I think there'll be something else in the gift bundle.
But the people that are buying that at this point don't know that necessarily.
What is it? What's the special?
What am I, a wizard? I don't know. Somebody told me. I don't remember what it was because I don't know Magic that well. It'll be a card that's Magic, themed, probably with Lord of the Rings on top of it, if I were a betting man.
Next time you fight me on a Magic topic, remember you don't know Magic that well.
You can't convince me that people.
It'll probably be Omnath, where like he eats rings instead of mana. That's my gut. That's my gut.
I don't want to be the guy that calls viewers stupid, but you can't tell me a world where people are stupid enough to buy a bundle because of the promo card that comes in every bundle. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Gift bundle.
It doesn't matter. Never once has a single promo card from a bundle held its value if it's in every single bundle. We did this 3 weeks ago with Phyrexian from the Phyrexian.
I love how like it can't happen, and then you give an example of where it happened 3 weeks
No,
ago.
I'm giving an example of where it was not valuable. We looked it up and it was like 0 cents. Like doesn't matter if it's in every single box, it's worthless. That's the way this works. This is why this isn't a legacy card game where you go and buy every card in a little box.
Wow, that felt like also a shot. Would you like to name names, or that felt very aggressive? No, oh my goodness!
I don't play legacy card games.
So you're right, but I think we see evidence of both.
Just
right?
dead ones.
Shout out to Arkansas.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
Oh, can we talk about how TCG players picking up every card game ever produced in the last 3 weeks?
Yeah, if you give them $75,000, they'll pick up your game. That's the way it works.
True?
Yep.
Is that the fee?
You got to create a card game.
Something
Oh
like
my! The May the Zuby with you card game.
God,
we'll have one card.
We'll
have one card. People can just pass it back and forth on TCG Player.
And it's serialized.
Serialized.
I have to own it.
It's a serialized 1 of 2 card, and there's only one printed.
Yes.
That's the other wildest theory about this is everyone who's constantly saying that Wizards isn't going to put the One Ring in the boxes. Like they're putting it in tracking.
Let's talk about this. Okay. I think they are missing an amazing type of content, which is like recording them taking the card, putting it into the feed, the card going into the box, being sealed up and slapped on a case, and then like that content would
awful.
Get so much.
That would be so
that would be amazing. Your Indiana Jones moment.
You need to make it so that people don't know where it's coming from.
What do you mean? It's in the freaking warehouse. What do you mean?
Okay, what if it's in a gift bundle? What if it's in the box?
Like, it goes into
it just goes into the pack. The pack goes down the line into a bunch of other packs. I don't think
they should show anything related to it.
And somebody somewhere will be like, oh, my cousin worked in this warehouse. I can tell by that pillar with that sign on it. They produce this product. It's in this batch. Sure. But I think it would be cool.
I don't think you could. Listen,
you have such little faith in the internet.
But then if the card is in there, then somebody can just do that anyway.
But then they have the card boo-boo. The whole point is you don't want to be like, oh, this print run has a card, this print run doesn't.
I think Wizards puts it in there. I don't doubt that. I think there's
the fact that we think Wizards is going to commit a felony to avoid putting a special piece of cardboard
that costs them nothing.
Box.
It costs them nothing. It costs them $0 to put the card in.
Like, why would they commit a felony for no reason? Yes, for the funsies of it.
And then the other one, they're going to seed which pack it goes into and send it to a specific person. I'm like,
I don't think they will. I don't think they will. Shout out to Backyard Breaks. But like that one,
no.
I'll be honest.
You're wild. There's no way.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I don't buy
That's
that.
not
one.
gonna happen.
All right, when Rudy
Who would they
opens
do
it,
it? They
the
wouldn't give
first
it
box,
to Rudy. They wouldn't give it to Rudy.
They don't like
who would
Rudy
they give it to?
They hate.
publicly.
They hate all the content creators.
They do.
It reminds
they-
me of other games, but like what,
They-
like who would do it? Who would get it?
Nobody.
Me.
Nobody would get it.
God,
Me.
when Josh opens it
When
live
Josh
on stream,
opens the black did you say
Well,
black
when
Lotus?
I open
No,
a Black
you did.
Lotus, it's cheating. I cheated the pack then.
Yeah, we're gonna do a lot of box openings. I just sold patrons some box openings, and then I'm
at
gonna.
a great price.
Well, did you see that?
I bought some from you. I expect
Did you
those
see what?
openings.
Did you see what I actually did?
I
with
did.
The price?
I did. That's why I'm mentioning it.
I forgot. I like wasn't thinking, and I
That's
was like,
all
oh yeah, $260. It's supposed to be.
This is the
360.
same guy earlier in the podcast that wanted you to trust his math. I'm just throwing that
Without
out there.
shipping, fees, or time.
Same guy that said, "Oh, trust me. Look at my math."
Listen, my math is accurate and spot on. I used a
Except when it comes
calculator.
to the prices.
I was like rushing it. My kid was up. She was yelling. The baby monitor was going off. I was trying to get it done. Like, what do you want from me? Okay. I made a mistake.
No.
I tried too hard. I cared too much, and I messed up the
I
prices.
got so far, and in the end, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, that was
God,
th-
that
what
is like.
Genes-
I hope that becomes a TCG meme. God, because like
that's
that
what
is-
Genesis used for their
Yeah, that's,
death.
that's why I said I hope it becomes the TCG meme. Good-
Oh.
Great thoughts there, Boo Boo. You're really nailing it today. You're really on top of the game today.
You guys dress alike, you think alike, you act alike, you talk alike.
That's the most offensive thing you ever said in your life.
I just have more hair on my
Yeah,
head,
do-
but not on my
Not here,
my,
baby.
Not on my neck. We got neck beard George here, everyone.
You're
God, you
you're
got the
just
door.
George that showered this month.
And lost some weight.
How
was
dare
low.
you?
That was low. I'm sorry.
Thank you
So,
for
I could see.
Thank you for apologizing. I like how you're like, you smell, you look homeless, you look terrible, and you're fat. I'm sorry for calling you fat.
I didn't call you fat. I said you were heavier than me, which
And you're not
And-
dead.
and I'm fat. So in turn, I called you fat. So
in his defense, I think I called you homeless.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I did call you neckbeard. So I don't know. Take what you want.
Neckbeard
Um,
culture could be, maybe. You
I
should
don't
follow it.
Archive.
I don't think this ends up with a big streamer. What did you do? I missed that one.
Brand Archive.
Neckbeards. Wow, this podcast is only 15 minutes in, and we have completely derailed. Completely.
All we've done is
Welcome back, George.
all we've done is insult each other and various communities for 15 minutes.
All right, be honest with me. Were you guys on task last week? Because I bet you there's a lot more actual discussion last week about TCG.
The entire time we had no arguments, we had good discussion, and it was super good.
How boring. How boring.
This is definitely more fun. I gotta
Did
say,
you
this
guys
is-
give your viewers a pillow so they could take a little nap during it or no?
No, we had as many views though, so I don't know.
I think more actually at this point.
Like, because you used my face. I got the thumbnail of my beautiful face smiling at everybody. It's like,
Wait,
oh, that makes sense.
Hold on, you think I'm gonna take the time to edit you
That's
out of
true.
the thumbnail? Like, what?
You put yourself in a thumbnail this week. I'm so
I
proud
did.
of you, dude.
It's the same photo from 2 years ago. So
I can tell.
Then.
You look way more Louis and
all
way
right.
less George.
back on top. Back on
All right.
top.
So $1.1 million of Josh's fake data of pump and dump from stores, according to the comment section, which I believe has been sold.
That was the commenter for the context is someone said that you can't trust TCG player data because it's all fake to inflate sales numbers for Wizards of the Coast.
They get it. They get it. They're woke. They're woke.
Some of these comments, man, some of these Magic the Gathering enthusiasts go a little too far down the rabbit hole
Here's
for
what
me.
you could convince me of. Like, if you included singles prices, I'd be a lot more dubious.
100%.
Yeah, pre-order
100%.
single prices. I could see that.
Yeah.
Box prices, it's a competitive marketplace still.
Right.
Like, there's not like 4 sellers of
Box-
Lord of the Rings.
Box prices are already lower than I thought they would be on TCG Player. Yeah.
Patience.
It's interesting because when I got my allocations, I said, "Oh crap, I didn't get enough boxes. Like, I'm not going to sell any of these boxes on TCG Player. There's no way I'm going to end up on TCG Player with the amount of boxes I got." And like, it's weird to see some stores selling at such low prices right now. It's just interesting, but.
Yeah, some of the prices are wild, and then you look back through the data and some of the very early pre-orders, and I don't know who these people
They don't exist.
Those are the ghosts. Those are the Wraith Party or whatever it is. They
accounts.
Well, remember on TCG Player, there's no negative to canceling, so you could get up there you could get up there and pre-order a bunch of boxes and cancel all your orders with no negative.
Now, from a technology standpoint, canceled orders will eventually fall off as well.
Oh, really?
So off of the sold listings, yes, they fall off. They're not there anymore because I've retracked the data myself.
How do you know? There was a couple. How do you know that
because there was, I think it was Complete Bundle. There was a couple questionable sales of the Complete Bundle. I highlighted them in a data set, and then I went back 2 weeks later, regathered the same data set, noticed that every one of those questionable sales had fallen out.
That's cool.
So either they were canceled or the card didn't go through. Somehow those sales fell out of the pool.
Yeah, that's interesting.
What do you mean? Also, how do you know that they didn't? Why? Because I did the work and you didn't.
I was curious on how you had access to that data.
Because I opened my eyes and I looked at them and they weren't there, and I was like,
"Listen,
gasp,
some of us can't build a TCG Player scraper for data. That person is me. I don't know how to do that. I was just asking a clarifying question.
I can barely spell TCG Player, if I'm being honest with you, Josh.
I think I've misspelled it actually in my own code, so it's fine.
It's fine. It's 1.1 million.
That's interesting. I still have a lot of people who it's funny in the store. There's either people who are like dumbly excited about this, like this is the greatest thing in the universe. They're stoked for it, and the other side of people are like, I don't want to play with Frodo. Like, I don't want to play with Frodo. I don't want to play with Sargon. I don't want to play with like the
love
cards.
The random Frodo hate. It's like, I will die before I play with Frodo.
Well, like,
he does not belong in the One Ring.
What is that? Elijah Wood somewhere's ears just perked up. Like, what?
Here's the comment I get is, what if Frodo becomes a modern staple, and so now in every deck you see Frodo being played, and like,
we do this again this week. That take is not only dated, but those people are dying out. That group of people who are like, I don't want Samwise Gamgee in my Magic game are going by the wayside.
I'm sorry, Trey. I didn't know you were dying. He seems pretty young to me. He's like 28.
Yeah. You know what? Sooner or later he'll accept it, or he'll move on to a more successful TCG and buy some Genesis. What do you want?
Wow, we are going ham on these TCGs today. I'm here for it. I love it. I'm in for it.
I think like it's just interesting to see, like he plays in our Commander streams, and I was like, you want to do a stream with Lord of the Rings? He was like, no, I don't want to play that. I was like, oh, but what? Like I think we should still play it.
I think the Commander decks will do very well this set.
Yeah. Supply is huge. I got more. I got allocation, and then I asked for more, and they got me more.
That's always the case. That's usually the case with Commander decks, though.
Okay, I've never done that before.
So this is going to be one of the most popular decks built out of only cards from this set. Like,
yeah. So somebody I know is doing basically selling Lord of the Rings, or he does a lot of Commander decks. He buys Commander decks and sells the singles on TCG Player. He does phenomenally well. And that's one thing I want to potentially try on this is like the ability to organize the cards and set them up is super
Tune in
easy.
for that week. Tune in that week.
Well, you don't have to open anything. It's guaranteed polls.
You have to open the decks. You have to open them.
Much time, though. And it's easy to sort because every card's the same. You just go down the line. So it's really easy to list and sort. You can literally copy and paste. Like
these are going to be pre-shuffled. It's going to be awesome.
But when you list the inventory, it's super easy to go across the board because you just take the deck out and you put the deck together. You disassemble it in order. And then you can just copy and paste the deck list and count the number of decks that you put up, and you list your cards. So the amount of time that it takes to list the cards is super low, but the profit margins are higher, he says, higher than opening up packs typically.
Well, that I believe.
Yeah.
Well, you can target more specifically because you know exactly what you're buying, right? If you know a deck is low on value, you just don't buy it. So yeah, you could tell me it's more profitable than just opening packs.
Yeah, super interesting. So I think there's going to be a lot of that happening with this one too. They always put some spicy stuff in there.
Commander decks?
That don't have like reprints in the cards. Like some of the cards, was it Archive of Ogma? Was that from Baldur's Gate? That was just in the commander decks and then in one slot in the Baldur's Gate set boxes or collector boxes.
Oh yeah.
So it's super short printed in terms of getting it in the packs.
Sure.
And so
But you were guaranteed a copy in the deck.
Yeah. So
that
I mean,
was a great pickup.
So if you had 5 of those, one in each of the decks, and 3 of them takes off as a commander, kind of not staple, but decent commander card, it's a lot of value.
Well, we're going to see how that shapes out this year. I mean, I know we're not allowed to talk about it. It's a different set, so I don't want to bring it up, but we'll have a shining example of that coming up. Make sure you're subscribed so you know when we're allowed to talk about it, Louis.
Okay. All right, let's move on.
It's a great point, Josh. Thank you for bringing it up.
Lord of the Rings has Jumpstart. Josh,
Does
what are
Commander
the
Masters have a Jumpstart box or no?
George, it is not the Lord of the Rings set.
It's not.
Focus up, buddy. Lord of the Rings, however.
Chat, you know what? No, that's let chat decide this. We're feeling spicy today. Chat, do you really want us to talk about a set that comes out in September that we know nothing about, that nobody knows anything about?
September, I've made 2 Wilds of Eldraine videos, dude. Step up.
You're crazy.
I know basically as much about Commander Masters as I do Lord of the Rings set, just on the same page.
That's fair.
You're gonna buy it and it's gonna sell?
Josh, what is the pre-sale data? What is the pre-sale data for Lord of the Rings Jumpstart?
Oh, sorry, misunderstood you.
Don't know if I'm tracking it. I have to take a look at the data. Don't think I'm tracking Jumpstart, buddy.
I'm still on the record. I think Jumpstart's the play. It's going to be a play for this set. I got some. I ordered some.
What? Define play.
I think there will be something spicy in the Jumpstart box.
Ooh,
I think it's scoopy. Nobody gave me any intel on this. I have nothing. This is just a fat man in a much better looking Hawaiian shirt. Dumb opinion.
This is. Did we talk about? We didn't talk about the shirt in the retake. This shirt.
We did.
No, we did not.
Oh, your daughter. About how she calls me daddy.
My daughter's 4.
No, like she calls me Papa, not Daddy. Like, hey,
you
Dad.
Weirdo, Louis.
Yeah, that's kind of on you, Louis.
I'm the weirdo.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what, you guys duke it out.
I got a lot of compliments on this shirt. Boom, that's it.
We already said that.
You said that.
That was in the
yes,
first
you
take.
did.
That was on
Clip
both
it.
takes.
Internet, do your thing.
That was the first take.
Internet, do your thing.
I can't keep our takes in mind. We make
George,
too many
I
mistakes.
think I'm with you on
There
Jumpstart.
was like 2 takes, of which one was like 5 minutes, and Louis can't keep him straight in his head.
My
This is the
family
worst
was right.
podcast of all time.
We make too many mistakes.
This is the worst podcast of all time.
Comment. I think there will be a spicy basic land in the Jumpstart box.
Hold on. Isn't there a spicy basic land in every Jumpstart product?
Yeah,
but I think
they're all
people will want it
worthless
this time.
now.
Yeah,
Like,
just wait.
In
Just wait.
2020, in the middle of the pandemic, Jumpstart, the first Jumpstart had lands, and they were selling for like $3 each, and it was a thing. And George,
I have the
wants to
puppy
relive
land.
that. Yeah, George.
I have the
wants-
puppy land. The
No,
planes with the puppy
dude.
on it.
I remember selling those for $7 a piece.
Yeah.
Those lands for $7
God.
a piece.
They're good looking planes cards though. They're really nice lands.
They are, but like I remember selling that was crazy. It was a good day, man. 2020.
Take me back.
Yeah, you want to add some?
Don't get me wrong, it was tragic, but
It
there
was
were
horrible.
good
It was
days.
horrible, but the puppy lands were great.
The puppy lands were fantastic.
There's a silver lining in everything, and the silver lining is the puppy lands.
So George, I've said
Yeah, go.
I've said for a while that I think Lord of the Rings is going to be a really great starter product. I think Wizards built it as a starter product. Do you think that leans into the Jumpstart model? Jumpstart will do better, sell more, be a better experience because there's more new players? Or do you think there's nothing to that and I'm way off base?
I think there is. I think they're trying to figure out Jumpstart still. They knew theme decks were a disaster, so they got rid of that smartly. And I think they like the format of Jumpstart. and now it's about how do you tune the product to fit the market. And I think that's what WotC will do. It could start this set, that wouldn't surprise me. But Jumpstart doesn't have to be bad. Like, there's no rule that says sets with Jumpstart have to be bad. They just have been so far. And I think they could start to figure it out this set. Yeah, I mean, like, I think I got some faith.
Well, my theory is Jumpstart's not something that works with every set. But with something that's this outward facing and meant to put new eyes on Magic, I think Jumpstart's a cool experience. So I'm glad they have it here. But like Brothers War, Jumpstart. Most people who are buying Brothers War, most people who are buying Phyrexia or March of the Machine are mostly already Magic fans, right? Those aren't big entry points into the game, I wouldn't think.
I think that's true, but I mean, imagine like a good Jumpstart for Brothers of War. I think it'd be great. I think people would buy it.
Like,
when you say good, do you mean like play experience or good cards, like good value?
Have some
has to have rare. Has to have good cards in it. Like,
it has to have some exclusive cards. The problem
it has to have some exclusive arts.
The problem is that with Jumpstart, if you have really good cards, it becomes very spiky. Right? Like, it's like playing sealed. So if you guarantee that if you get that deck, you're just going to get the bomb and win, it's not a good play experience.
You got to keep Jumpstart casual, though. Like, I mean, like,
I agree, 100% agree. But you're saying that you want good cards in the product that doesn't inherently work for the product. I think Jumpstart gets a bad rep. You're talking to somebody who opened like 8 boxes of Jumpstart Dominaria United 2 weeks ago to get Shieldred to sell to a customer. Like, the Dominaria United Jumpstart.
How does that prove it's a good product? You'll open any Magic product. We learned that this week.
Wait, I thought Aftermath was great. Wizards is the best. That's the take that you have.
You know the last Pokemon set to have positive EV? Probably Unlimited.
I think Crown Zenith probably has positive EV right now.
Really?
Crown Zenith is crazy. The pull rates on Crown Zenith.
All right, staff, get to opening. We got tons of it. We got tons of it.
I got Crown Zenith ETBs this week, baby.
I know, me too.
I was
Pokemon's GOAT. Nobody wants it.
I haven't seen a Crown Zenith ETB since the day I got Crown
have so
Zenith.
Many.
I'll take them. I will take all your Crown Zenith ETBs at cost. All of them.
That's a contract.
I will take everyone. I will.
Hey, your cost or at his cost? I'm willing to negotiate this deal for a fee.
Yeah. It's cost plus shipping.
I overbought those new ones. I want like 11 packs in it or whatever from Distro.
That's fair. Everybody. There's a lot of those.
I got like 80 cases of them.
Yeah. I didn't get cut at all, man. I got a lot, but I need them. Like, I probably sold through like at least half of them already.
I did not sell through half of mine. That's just from one distro, by the way. I got it from both.
We can't keep packs in stock. People buy single packs like crazy.
Anyway,
Jumpstart. I think
you need 5,400 packs. Hit me up. I got you, boo.
I think Jumpstart gets a bad rep because of the name, but I also think, like, let me ask you guys this: you guys are both saying that Jumpstart is a great intro product. Josh, if you were going to teach somebody how to play Magic, what would you do?
It depends on when they came in. The one thing I wouldn't do is I wouldn't teach them Commander. Ideally, I'd have some kind of starter product, which is another reason I think this is a wonderful outward-facing set as far as Lord of the Rings goes. But Jumpstart's another option, and maybe have 2 of them pre-sleeved up together, ready to go. There's a little bit of synergy. Most of the cards are simple. You can sit down, you can jam through a game pretty quickly.
Okay. George, how would you teach somebody how to play Magic?
Are they at my store or not at my store?
They're at your store.
Then I would not teach them Magic Arena. If you're not at my store, I'd introduce you to Arena.
Yeah, Magic is a good bet.
I was gonna say, is your step 1 to learn how to play Magic?
No, so like everyone talks about
how we teach them at my stores. We teach them. We close your ears, Josh. We give them a precon deck.
Yeah,
of a Commander precon deck.
Bingo. This is what I was going to say.
Horrible.
It's not though.
That's how we play the store. That's what the store plays.
So
I mean, like, if I'm here with my standard deck, I can play every 3 weeks.
You know what the public persona of Jumpstart is? When somebody goes to my store and they look at a box and they say, "Should I buy this?" Everybody in the store says, "No, don't buy that. Don't touch it. It's crap." And they say what you should do is buy a precon, because at any point you can take that precon and hop in and play a game with people who are already playing. And even though even though it's not the most efficient way to learn Magic the Gathering, it is the most fun way to learn Magic the Gathering for both the teacher and the player. You get
Now-
the interaction, and as a teacher, you get to play the game that you enjoy. You don't have to be jamming two decks together that you don't really enjoy and like playing the,
This
playing
is
the-
wild because it sounded like the question was based around how to get someone up and running with Magic the Gathering, not to how to make an enjoyable experience for the teacher and show them what product is profitable to buy off the shelf. There's a lot more caveats here than the question I was initially asked.
But the way that like it's easy to say on a video that Jumpstart is the best way to play, but in practice, when you're in a store and when everybody around you is playing Commander and everyone
That's
that
the
isn't,
problem.
when
Yeah.
everybody in their
Yeah.
play group plays Commander,
Right.
there's no better thing to do than to hop in and play Commander and just get your feet wet and hop in and dive in. Like that's the best way to do it, because that's tomorrow when you go to play Magic the Gathering, you're going to end up playing Commander because that's what everyone's playing, and you're not at an LGS and you don't have a bunch of Jumpstart product in front of you, and so you're just going to end up playing Commander. So to throw people in, I think is just the best way to teach people to learn. So I don't think this is a good intro product. I think Jumpstart can be a good replacement for sealed or like formats are like that, but they've already ruined it. I think they just need to get rid of Jumpstart still.
No, boo, bad take.
Yeah, I don't understand what's wrong with teaching them to play a game of Jumpstart so they understand how playing a land and casting an instant versus sorcery and tapping a creature works before you jump into a commander pod. I don't understand
that. I think I would say, Josh, is that I think most people who go into the store already have that down. Like they understand what a land is.
Well, sure, but I'm assuming I was teaching someone to play Magic.
I don't think that's true either. Most people go into an LGS to learn how to play Magic and ask to like, hey, can you teach me how to play? Don't know anything.
There's definitely a lack of TCG content creators on YouTube that go over the basics. That's a good point.
Not everybody
actually
watches
rarely
TCG content. Like
what?
Listen,
what are they doing?
Listen, they don't. More of you need to.
I taught two people. I taught two people how to play Pauper this week, and the reason I used Pauper was because they can come every Monday night and learn and play Pauper with our Pauper community. It's an easy onboarding. They could have stayed and played for the Pauper event if they wanted, if they really enjoyed it. We have Pauper decks available to buy and to hop in and play. Like it's
How much are your Pauper decks?
Like $55.
Do you sell them
What's
sleeves?
a $55 Pauper
They
deck?
cost $70 if you buy them on TCG Player. Yeah, and
I thought Pauper was like cheap.
No. I mean, that's pretty cheap for a Magic deck. When your lowest standard deck is $600 and
what
Commander decks are, I mean, yeah.
That's outrageous.
Anyway.
That seems high to me. Does that seem high to you guys?
No.
No. Asking a person to make a $55 investment in a deck that they can play every week does not seem unreasonable.
Yeah.
Pump that number up to 600 to 1,000, especially for people who are still in the onboarding process, and that's the only way to play the game. That's a massive problem and a huge failure. $55 decks are fine.
I also think, George, people think of Pauper as a budget format, which is it's fair, but that's a fair it is definitely the cheapest way to play Magic in a in the standard way of playing Magic with 60 card decks. But the format is also very like interactive and competitive. Like it's a competitive Magic format. So there are staples that are $2 or $3 cards that add up. And if you want to play a meta deck, it costs $75 to $100.
I think you said something unfair. You said yeah, but you were a little unfair there.
Yes. There's metas. It's a diverse, super fun, diverse meta.
Louis, people don't perceive Pauper as a budget way to play Magic. The word pauper means like poor. Like that's what it's named after.
Oh. I mean, so because of that, they perceive it that way, right?
That's what it was created to be and named accordingly.
Cards is made out of cardboard because they're made out of cardboard.
Yeah,
that's how I perceive it. I'm with you, Louis.
Well, but George was talking about it like it was a not fun. Like it was just like the whole point of it is that it's cheap. That's not the whole point of it. Like there's like people who love playing Pauper because the format is more interactive and less spiky, and there's more ways to play the game and people all the time. What?
Are there more ways to play the game? Like, what does that mean? You can
Like,
play
look up
52
the
card
Pauper.
pickup?
Look up the Pauper meta. There's like 10 decks that are all top tier. Like, it's a super diverse meta that doesn't get solved because there's a million different cards that you can play. You compare that to Modern when there's like 2 or 3 decks that are at the top of the table, and like people like playing Pauper because of that. Don't just roll your eyes. If you have something to say, then say it.
I think that the reason people play more Pauper decks than they do Modern decks is because you can have the spice of life. I can willingly go on TCG Player, spend $300 and get myself 6 decks, and then play whatever I want, have fun. And Magic itself lends itself to a more casual group of people than other trading card games, right? So I think that I'm willing to lose and play some more fun strategies because I can afford them all. Something like Modern, I would play every Modern deck. They're all so much fun, but they each cost me $600 to $1,000, right? So I can't make that happen.
I think that's another reason that people play.
But I think that's why Pauper is such a diverse meta, because you can afford to be. When you look at Modern, you're like, I'm going to invest all this money in a deck. I don't want to build something like that might be tier 2 or have struggles into a lot of different decks.
But Pauper has like 10 tier 1 decks. It's not like people are not buying Modern decks because they're not. It's not like people are like, I don't want to try out a new deck because it costs too much money.
I'll lean on to you, but as I've played a little bit of Pauper on MTGO, and the tier 1 decks don't exactly seem like they're all perfectly balanced. I think there's multiple power levels in that tier 1. Are you describing like I used MTG Goldfish to look at different tiers of decks?
So we had 17 people at our Pauper tournament this Monday. Yeah.
Is this whole statement just based off your meta at Game Growth?
There's 17 people.
No, I'm just saying, like, we have a large Pauper community of people who play, like, they buy decks every week. They show up with different decks and like play the new spice. And we have a Discord server where people talk about the format all the time. Like, I'm not educated on Pauper. Like, there are like 10 decks that are at the top of the table that are all very competitive and very hard to beat.
Okay, that sounds cool. Sounds great.
Back to Jumpstart. We didn't have this conflict last week. What's the difference between this week and last week?
You can't sell me the way you're selling Pauper is like it's the best way to play the Wizards of the Coast. This should be every competitive meta.
Listen,
Pro Tour should be Pauper.
Okay, all right, then call me out of it. Start a Pauper stream and stream the game and learn how to play and educate yourself. And then
first of all, I've seen a Pauper stream. I like viewers.
Don't just tell me I'm wrong without any knowledge about the game.
I agree with you. I agree with Louis Josh. I think you need to do a 20-person viewer stream with your Pauper.
I would never get 20 viewers. Louis gets 20 viewers for Paupers. I get 2. Okay.
Like it I don't know what else to say. Like, look it up. It's a super diverse. This is a very common thing that people talk about with Pauper.
I'm in. Hold on.
It's got cards all the way. It goes all the way back. It's got more cards in it than Modern. Like, it is a more diverse meta.
I understand. I think part of the diversity is because it can afford to be.
I freaking love Pauper. It's the only format of Magic that I like.
My favorite one of his crazy rants he goes on, and he has a lot of them. It's easily my favorite. This is a
great point. This is a great time to share that we are doing a Pauper 1K on June 10th, and viewers, you should all come and hang out. We're doing a Pauper 1K at Game Grove June 10th.
What's the entry price to your Pauper 1K?
Louis,
what?
I'm on MTG Goldfish. Pauper metagame. The top deck has a 17%. Next one has 11%. Third one has 9%. The fourth one has 7%.
So the top 4 decks have a total of 30% of the meta? That seems pretty damn good to me.
No, but there's a huge fall off between 1 and 4.
That's not a huge fall. 17% of the meta for the top deck? Show me another format that has a top deck that is only 17% of the meta, George. Show me any game. No,
one is
double. No. Show me any game in existence.
I only know
any game that exists that the top deck has a 17% meta. That's
now
nothing.
That I've told you MTG Goldfish, you're going to be on there all the time.
Sure,
I'm gonna become a competitor.
What is 17%? 17.
Oh, you mean
When you
mean
go
modern?
to the store,
You mean modern, where the top deck has 13.5% of the meta?
Okay, but other than that, Josh, give me another format. Give me another format other than what I just used. Okay.
I'm just listen. Pauper's great. I think there are some financial factors
or
that
Commander Words 1.2%
that lend itself to the
Commander,
diversity.
Stop it! You're using Commander.
My
what
favorite
format
one.
do you want to use?
My favorite is Let's Revive Standard. The top deck has a 31% share of the metagame. Let's revive Standard though. Let's bring it in. Let's revive it.
All right. So
All right.
other than modern,
The modern metagame does look pretty good. You're right. The modern metagame does look pretty good.
Always modern's the best way to play Magic the Gathering.
Looks pretty good.
It's the price is a problem, but is the by and far the best way to play Magic.
I don't think that's true, but I will tell you.
Well, I'm sorry. All the arguments you just used point to modern.
So modern's too fast, in my opinion.
Pioneer has 21%.
Yeah, Pioneer's a little bit broken right now.
Historic's only 8.7.
Historic.
Do you know what historic is?
God, George, like clean up your life, man. Get it together.
What's Penny Dreadful?
George, take a shower, shave your beard. Don't ever bring up historic again.
What's wrong with historic?
Like, also, for the record, he left this out, Josh. That the number one is for Pauper is burn. Like that's the top meta game right now. Is burn.
So what?
Every way to play Magic has a burn archetype. That doesn't surprise me.
All right. Brawl has 4 decks in it, basically. So that's great. And they still have.
Wait, hold on. Let's do this. Let's do it. George.
Oh my God, they all have one.
Do it.
They all
Do
have
it.
one.
George,
Do it.
hands up right
Hands
now.
up.
Now. Hands up.
Both.
Other hand. Put your left
Both.
hand up. Tell me what Brawl is. No,
It is
don't
a
touch
deck.
it.
No. I was just
click.
no. That was just to get back on the screen. It was a deck that I got 10,000 of during the pandemic that I now have 9,998 of.
What is it? What is Brawl?
60 card decks that you can buy in a pre-con.
What is the format?
Not incorrect.
What do you mean? That's
Not-
the format.
not-
60 card deck, you brawl. You fight the other guy.
Brawl.
Play your hand.
I want to tell you what Brawl is, and I want you to tell me if you think this is a good idea. Brawl is 60 card commander.
I was right.
Commander with only standard legal cards.
I think it's a great idea and far superior to the Magic sets that they come out where you can actually make a Magic deck during draft.
I don't even know what you just described.
The
to me.
Commander sets, the Commander ones that you like, we can draft Commander. What was those? The
Baldur's Gate
Commander.
was a fun draft.
I'm getting my comment section is blown up weekly with people like, I wish I could Baldur's Gate draft you. I'm like,
All right.
really?
What's
Yeah,
Penny
it was a fun
Dreadful?
draft. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a format of Magic.
I don't know that one.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Best format no one's ever heard of is Rush.
That's not even on here.
Rush is fun.
I know.
Rush
is a blast.
Okay, let's move on. We got too heated. We need to move on.
I don't care about that. What's Alchemy format?
Oh my god.
All right, we just lost all credibility, didn't we?
We just
Like, right
we just
there.
opened
In
George's
one word,
mind.
In one sentence, we lost
It's
all
8.
credibility.
There's only 8 decks.
All right, George.
And
That's
nobody plays it.
because there's
Alchemy-
only 7 players and I'm playing 2 of the decks.
Josh,
Okay.
George, this is your game that is GOAT and is no problems over the last year. Everything they've done has been perfect.
All right,
This is your
Louis. Like,
game.
listen, now I'm not on your side. Now I'm on George's side, and the guy doesn't know what alchemy is. Great. Thanks,
That's
Louis.
what he said. That's
Solid
what he
work.
Said.
What's Explorer?
Alchemy is Magic standard, but they can just like change the cards so that they
It's
don't have
it's
to play
Hearthstone.
things.
It's standard Hearthstone. They can
I'm in.
digitally
I'm in.
rebalance
I'm
the
in.
cards.
Shout out to Blizzard minus the bad stuff. Minus the bad stuff. I don't support that, but I do support StarCraft too.
All right, let's talk about Fanatics buying PWCC.
Well, you guys have this conversation. I'm gonna fire up my World of Warcraft account and go to town.
God.
Do you guys want to be a World of Warcraft podcast?
I'm in.
No,
I'm
we gotta do
absolutely
RuneScape.
in.
I'll do a RuneScape podcast tomorrow.
No,
I will
No.
delete the channel and start a RuneScape channel if we're all in tomorrow.
And then my ascent to the top can be complete.
The top of what?
All right.
The crappy Magic content creator
Yeah.
world?
Our little people pyramid.
Josh, you are the only one that competes with this group. You know that.
I compete with myself. Louis.
No, you don't. No,
And
that's
listen,
not true.
no,
What did he
we went
say
out
to them?
there.
He was like,
No,
my
it
channel's
was a tough-
pumping. I finally got
it
as
was a
many
tough
views
day.
as Louis. That was
Yep,
his pumping.
Yep, I'm on the come up, dude. I'm on the come up, baby. Ivory Tower, here I come. $50 a month. It's in my sights. I can see it.
Oh my gosh. All right, can we please talk about Fanatics buying PWCC?
Fanatics, unlike Josh, has about $3 billion in revenue per year. They have been buying everything, I think is the only fair way to say it. They bought like one of the streetwear jersey companies. They bought a gambling site. They bought the MLB license. I believe they have the NFL, NBA license. So they can get like, the 5th best player ever, LeBron James cards coming out soon, I'm sure. That'll be very exciting for them. The GOAT gets swept.
Wait. Is there going to be a LeBron James card that says the GOAT gets swept? And
if not, what are we doing
here? And it's his face after losing the series? If they
I might retire. I can't win.
If they don't do that, they are missing out on a million attendees.
I'm going to take my ball and go home. I need better teammates. I'm going to make him sacrifice all the team again.
I still think LeBron would beat Jordan, for the record. 101.
No chance.
I'm heavy in on that. All in. I will be more all in on that than I am on that Lord of the Rings sucks.
Thank you for I got the okay. I don't know how to go to that, so we're gonna keep pushing through. Fanatics, not being content with owning everything, wanted more than everything, and they bought PWCC, which is a major auction house. It's a controversial auction house.
Yeah, the one that got caught shill bidding eBay auctions, right?
One that got accused of shill bidding.
There was never. I don't think there was proof.
I think
they got accused.
I'm pretty sure eBay has the IP addresses of the.
I doubt they were just like logging on from pwcc.org and shill bidding.
The CEO is in his home office.
They're talking to Chris Cox. Hey, Chris, I need a favor, buddy.
Mind you, this podcast brought to you by NordVPN. If you want to shill bid without being caught by eBay.
Oh, actually, we're gonna start sponsoring the podcast on my website. We're gonna have a break in the middle of the podcast, and it's gonna be like, "Hey, buy product from GameGrove.gg."
Is that?
And then it's gonna be George below saying,
"GamerGrove.gg."
There you go.
Is that for real?
No, but now it is because we just did it right now. This video is sponsored by my website.
You can go to my website, wink, wink, and also buy product, wink, wink.
I don't have a website, guys. Sorry.
You want to buy one?
Yeah. I got some funny stuff to put on the internet.
Okay, so
they bought PWCC
for $500 million.
I was about to say, yeah, you missed a zero.
Oh, that's where they forgot Tops. Fanatics bought Tops for $500 million.
I think I said Tops, but I said NBA and MLB license and all those.
Okay.
So this is interesting for a few things. First is like PWCC is a pretty well-known, again, although controversial, auction site and auction house. And they do a lot of high-end TCGs, mainly Pokemon. I wonder if they're not looking to get into the TCG space.
Well, there's been a lot of rumors that they've been trying to acquire a few TCGs in the TCG space, or at least one. I don't want to get into the rumors because we have a history of that on the podcast.
And it's always ended well.
And it's always ended poorly.
Oh, I was so close.
I guess well for us, but poorly still in general.
I feel fine about it. And so
got me here.
That's true. Maybe not really good anymore. And so I wonder if they'd look at an indie TCG. Can I get the hot take in here?
Yeah.
No, not allowed.
They should buy Genesis.
Wonder if they would look at an LBO of
no one's gonna laugh at that. Really?
What's Genesis?
Dead. An LBO of
what's an LBO?
Leverage buyout of either WotC or Pokemon.
No way. Are you high? Did you take some sort of terrible medicine today? Why on earth would Pokemon sell their company? What incentive does Pokemon have to sell their company?
I'm glad you're sitting down. Some businesses like to make money. I understand they don't have the back of the napkin math that you do.
I I think Pokemon's selling, making plenty of money.
But like
George, I think
you can sell at a multiple of what you're making.
You're insane. You're insane.
I don't think there's any incentive for Pokemon to sell itself or any underlying IP. I can't. Things are going real well.
You
They
are an
sold before.
insane
They
human
sold
being.
before. Oh, you all keep going. They sold before.
Yeah, get off the podcast. You're not welcome here anymore. That was an insane take.
That was by the way,
crazy.
was that the most insane take ever on this podcast?
Yes, that was the worst take ever on the podcast.
By the way, I got it. You were making a convergence reference before.
Oh,
my bad.
Sorry. Yeah.
My bad.
All right, I guess we're going to talk about that. That's an insane take. We'll let him come back to that when he comes back. But
I won't. I won't let him live that down. Like, let's break down those two scenarios: Pokemon and Wizards of the Coast. Well, Pokemon, fairly stable. You would sell, in my opinion, you would want to sell if you're experiencing some kind of extreme growth because you're going to have a multiplier and you don't think that growth is sustainable. Well, they're not. I think they're trending fairly steady. There's nothing extreme going on. And also, they're not hurting for cash, in my opinion. Like, maybe they are. Maybe they don't understand the underlying business of the Pokemon world, but I can't imagine that company's hurting for cash. On the flip side, Hasbro's not letting go of the only thing that makes them money, that they've publicly said, hey, this is keeping us afloat. They're not letting go of that.
Yeah, I don't know that Hasbro sells Wizards. I do think maybe Hasbro would be a potential buy for a company. Like, Hasbro's not doing well. Like, look at Hasbro stock. It's incredibly low. So, like, a company...
Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that.
Listen,
my poor portfolio.
I have Hasbro stock, too. But, like, I bought low. Yeah, but you could tell me
I wish.
where a larger company... Like, I always thought, like a Disney probably could acquire a Hasbro and make use of their ability to make toys, make use of their, I don't know. Yeah,
they can leverage a lot of infrastructure they already have in place as Disney.
Yeah, because Disney can take over Hasbro and they acquire all the IP licenses that then they have as Disney, just like they did with Lucasfilms and Star Wars and Indiana
100%.
Jones. And like, I think that makes sense. Pokemon doesn't. They sold 3.7 billion cards in 2021. like they're not struggling to sell, and cards were not even the biggest part of their sales or their revenue.
No.
Like,
so we agree, like but let's expand a little bit on the idea of a larger company buying an indie trading card game, because that's a bit more interesting. Because not only now, if you're the larger company, if you exist in a space where, again, we've talked about leveraging existing lines of business, and you can use that to promote this trading card game. Let's pretend Disney didn't have a trading card game and they bought one and they advertised it on Disney Plus and at their parks and things of that nature, instead of just making the indie trading card game to kill indie trading card games that is coming out, which is Lorcana. That would be interesting, right? Like, that's something you could look at.
So the reason that Disney would do that, though, this is important in my opinion, is if it had some sort of IP connected to it.
Yes.
Really what you're selling is not necessarily the card game. Like, card games they're all basically the same. There's some sort of resource system. You play the cards, you enjoy the game. Like, there are games that are better than others, and that's certainly something. But the IP connected to a card game, if you look at Pokemon, again, they're not making all their gross revenue and profit isn't coming from the TCG. It's coming from the IP and selling plushies and stupid Hawaiian shirts to 31-year-olds walking around the mall with their kids. And like, there's a plethora of other things that they end up making. So I think it would have to be IP driven, and this is why you see like MetaZoo and Cryptic it really pushing, like, growing their IP, because those owners, if they were to sell, would have to promote the idea that, like, you're not just buying a card game that has card sales and whatever, but you're buying something that people love in a wide direction.
So that's you hit the nail on the head, in my opinion. I think it's bonkers. Like, I think it's interesting to talk about these companies buying an indie trading card game, but let's take the companies with the most money behind them in the world, your Microsofts, your Apples, your Teslas, things like that. If they were to purchase a trading card game, they would now be competing in a space with Magic the Gathering and Pokemon, the big two, and some will argue your Yu-Gi-Ohs.
And Lorcana coming up. I mean, like,
I don't care how much money you have to throw at the problem. What you just pointed out, the emotional connection and the feeling and the vibe and the people, I play my card game because I like my card game. I always have. In my opinion, no company wants to get into that space right now. Like, we've seen indie trading card games try and fail essentially for a living since we started becoming popular content creators. They're all over the place. There's no reason for a major company to buy into that and willingly want to compete in that arena, because there's not much money at the other end of the tunnel either.
Yeah, I mean, there was in 2020, 2021. Like, that's where I think some of these conversations, if Fanatics was going to buy a TCG, could have started in 2020, 2021. I think it's a lot harder for Fanatics to justify buying a game today in 2023.
I don't think there's enough money at the end of the tunnel long term. Regardless, let's say we go back to 2020. As a company, if you're a large enough company making a large enough investment, you're speculating 3, 5, 10 years out. And no company is going to sit down and look at this and be like, this surpasses the digital in the future. Now, there will always be an emotional attachment to this that exists already, that we're already tied to. But breaking into that over the next 10 years is only going to get more difficult.
Well, that's what I mean. You would be buying a game that could be modded into a digital card game. And a company like Fanatics could have the money to make that really good. Look at Marvel Snap, right? Like, Marvel Snap came out of nowhere, basically. No,
there's no physical card game to Marvel Snap.
That's her, but like, it came out. My point is, it came out of nowhere. They put enough energy and money into developing it, and it's a huge platform, a huge success. I don't know what their player base is. I would guess that the Marvel Snap player base is similar to Arena. Is that an accurate statement?
I don't think it's that big, but it is really popular.
It's certainly very popular, right? Like, you're not talking about some sort of indie app, right? Indie driven app.
It's not the Instagram game you see on your phone scrolling. No, it's bigger than that for sure.
And so I think if you had an IP that could be created into something like that, I think that would be really good.
So we have these indie trading card games out there on the market right now. You're a big company, you're going to buy it, you're going to convert it to a digital game, or not convert, but maybe add a digital client along with it. Why would you not just start fresh at that point? When you start looking at the books and looking at some of the ways these games have some of the controversies that may have gone on, there might be some underlying debt that the public doesn't know about from producing these boxes. Maybe a couple companies printed way too much of a couple sets,
right?
And like, there's way too much of it out there, and you just don't want those problems. The idea of like, okay, I'm just going to start from scratch seems more appealing as well.
I think there's something to say about successfully created. This is where I think the IP is so important, because you can put together the right team of individuals to create a TCG that is good and that is fun to play mechanically. We've seen that. I mean, look at any number of board game, almost like legacy card, like Villainous, right? Where it's a card
Villainous
game.
Is a good one.
You put the cards together and you play
Smash Up,
you deck build and you play. Like, there is no shortage of game developers who can create fun to play games. Right. And I think with enough energy and resources behind it, you can also then make that scalable over time with meta shifts and whatever. But knowing that your IP is going to be successful when you start from zero is really hard. Buying an IP that has already garnished a culture and a group of people who love it that's valuable. You know that people love it already, and you can say, man, if I threw $2 million, 10 million, whatever the numbers, I don't know. I'm not a CEO of a Fortune 500.
I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
Yeah. like if you throw in a couple $1 million into advertising and really cool marketing decisions and that kind of thing, all of a sudden that IP, people love it. You just have to know the knowledge of blowing it up. Like I think there's a world there for Fnatic,
Sure.
but I don't
I
think
don't know.
I don't think Magic's it, man. I think what I said about Hasbro is silly. Like Fanatics isn't even traded publicly, so like
I don't.
how do
Yeah,
they
if you're not
promote
buying
it?
one of the big, if you can't buy one of the big two, maybe the big three, maybe you take a stab at something like a Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Or something like a Weiss for a revival, I guess. But why would you ever be like, you know what, that's the marketplace I want to be in? There's not a lot of reward. It seems like there's a lot of risk. There's a lot of, I mean, there's biting, clawing, scratching just to make it. And then you gotta, and it's different for indie trading card game creators, individuals, right? Because then it's a passion, then it's a love. But for a company, it's a line of business, and it's a line of business that doesn't make sense.
I do think that some of these creators probably have that in mind, though. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if, I know there's been rumors about like MetaZoo looking to sell their company, and I don't think any of that's really true right now. But like, it wouldn't surprise me.
Scoopy.
There's been, it's not Scoopy, but like Cryptic. I mean, I'm talking about any of these guys who are creating games.
Sure.
It wouldn't surprise me if they wouldn't want to build their IP, build their brand, build their game, cash out a check, and then retain the title of developer, or retain the title of, I don't know, CEO or whatever, and be able to continue to run the company, but know that like all the decisions don't fall on them. Like as a company, you grow to a point where you're like, this is as far as I can take this, and you want to see your brand successful. And so to say, okay, a company like Fanatics could take me to the next level, I think could be a healthy thing.
I don't see that here, and I think the thing you're missing there is that it truly is what you're saying logically and mathematically by the numbers makes sense, but it's such a labor of love. And because, I mean, like, look, dude, we both know, like, neither of us does all that well just based on our love of TCGs alone. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that go on behind the scenes, especially for you owning a store, having employees, running a business, things like that. These creators are so enamored with their own product, as they have to be to get it off the ground and to make sure it can succeed. That moment of, I've taken this as far as I can go, it's time to pass the baton and put myself in this role, is not only something that's almost impossible to see for anybody in any career, right? That's Pete's principle, right? You move past the job you're best at because you keep moving up, and you don't recognize you should stop. But it's also like, that's a hard pill to swallow. Like, to look yourself in the mirror, say, I put everything I have into this, and I'm moving on, and because it's for the best of the game. Most people don't have that in them.
I wouldn't say there's a moving on, though. Well,
this
is the question, is like, do they want that or not? Like, I think there is a ceiling for what a company of 35 people can do and can kind of accomplish without the input from a multi-million-dollar conglomerate. I mean, think about if Magic the Gathering would have stayed with Hasbro, or stayed with just Wizards of the Coast, if they wouldn't have sold. Like, everyone pities and poo-poos on Hasbro, but like, they grew a ton in those years. Like, Hasbro allowed them to move to the next level as a company. And like, now in 2023, we see the negatives of a lot of that, right? Like, we see the way that they have changed the game, and the world has changed and whatever. Right. But like, at the time, it was the same. It was the right business move. The same thing happened with the Pokemon licenses. Like, Pokemon, I was watching a video the other day. I'm trying to recall exactly what happened, but they their license, the way that it worked was basically like, they couldn't come into America without selling licenses and doing things in order to do it. They just didn't have the capability at the time. I mean, think about technology back then. And so in order to make that move, they end up selling. And then I think it was it was the effect on Wizards of the Coast. That's what it was. When Pokemon came, it took so much of their energy for Wizards of the Coast to handle the Pokemon license that's why they ended up losing the license, because they couldn't scale it up the way that Pokemon wanted them to.
But that's not an individual like these nurturing their baby like we're talking with these indie trading card games. That's different. This has already grown to a point. And whether you like it or not, when you sell off or like become acquired by Hasbro and you maintain you're still the lead of Magic, you make all the shots, you're CEO, you're commander in chief when it comes to Magic the Gathering. Guess what? You're really not, because you have someone. So there is no sale where you
shout out to Mark Rosewater.
The document can say you retain 100% creative control, but you need to know that you don't, because you have someone to answer to now. So I don't know, man. It's a super interesting discussion. I can't for the life of me decide why someone would get into this game.
I think that's a take right there. Like, I think that's fair. I think that looked different 2 years ago, is my point. Yes. So I disagree from a company perspective. I think it looked different 2 years ago from our perspective. I think we all knew that the TCG boom wouldn't be a constant $1 million a year uptick boom forever. Like that, that's not possible. Some of us knew that.
I don't think if you would have sat back and put it down on paper, you would have been like, that's not possible. There will be downticks, because in the history of trading card games, it's gone up and down.
But my viewpoint for indie TCGs 2 years ago was infinitely greater than where we are now. The amount of market share that indie TCGs I thought would take up is
we were crazy. Also dumb though.
Listen, it is amazing. Two things I've learned over this 2 years is how tiny indie TCGs are compared to Magic and Pokemon.
Yeah.
Right? But
that was astonishing.
Yeah, that and it's like so hard to put into words what that means. But like the community size is so much smaller. Like, it's just so much smaller. It's hard to comprehend.
Right.
And then the second thing that I've learned is how tiny the TCG world is, including Magic and Pokemon cards, compared to other hobbies. Pokemon. Yes. Or sorry, not Pokemon.
Oh my God, you just have to say Pokemon over and over again.
Compared to the video game industry.
Yep.
Compared to the sports industry. I mean, like
sports.
Like playing
one sports. Video game, League of Legends. I bet League of Legends, one single video game, dwarfs the entire TCG industry.
Which is, it's wild. And as I mean, viewers, you don't see it because you're watching the content. You don't. I bet you the average viewer doesn't look at how many views our videos get, right? But I look at
nothing else.
I look at how many views our video gets, and then I compare how many views my videos get to Rudy, who would be the number two Magic creator. I compare the number of views that the Magic historian gets to a crappy RuneScape video. RuneScape, a game that came out in 2004. Its prime was 2007, and the community is bigger.
RuneScape or yours?
My prime too. The community is bigger and more diverse, and wider spread in terms of content, and then the Magic community. It baffles me.
It's wild when you break down to it. Like, you think. Yeah. You only look at Magic historian, Jake and Joel are Magic, Rudy the professor. When you start think about trading card game content, like, you only do that, and then you start making trading card content and get into the weeds, and you realize, if I would have made a video teaching the difference between objects and classes, and what it's teaching C#, if I would have taught C# in a video series, the views are hundreds, if not thousands of times more. It's a wild space. And because of all this, why would a company sign up? Like, hey, I'll take one of those, please. Like, no, thank you. I just can't imagine it.
And then it gets really hard because Fanatics may be willing to buy a company, but the company may not be willing to sell at the price that Fanatics wants to buy it at. You know what I mean? Like, that's
you can't tell me that. I think most indie TCGs that have been around at this point are starting to see some of the pain points. Yeah. I think a lot of them would be willing to take the check, as you say.
Some of them would.
There'd have to be a lot of passion to not.
I think the majority of the ones we talk about would have a hard time signing that check over. The passion's too much.
Listen,
Like I think
Fanatics.
like
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Fanatics. Hometown TCG is for sale. Just
Josh
so you know.
is in this for the money, baby.
Just so you know. For sale.
All right.
5,500 person platform. All yours. Talk to me.
That's what Fanatics needs.
Moving on.
All right, yeah, I got 20 minutes before my kids get back from their grandparents. So
yep, I would like to go upstairs and see my daughter before she goes to bed.
Let's talk about Wicked Prophecy spoilers. I sent this to you. I guess we'll hold off the Genesis content because George is no longer with us.
Hey, we would talk about it, but we swore to you guys we never would.
Yeah,
so.
And George isn't here to lie to you. So, all right, Wicked Prophecy. He's not even here to defend himself. All right, Wicked Prophecy.
You're such a jerk.
First off, this is up for pre-order. GameGrove.gg, $110 a box if you're interested. Just gotta throw that in there. But don't buy it. Just listen to how cool this is. Look at some of the.
Did you just pump your website, say it's for sale here, and then say don't buy it?
Josh, some of us have our entire life connected to our business and don't have jobs.
Some of us didn't quit our jobs.
That some of us is sitting right here in this ugly shirt.
I don't know if that's a lack of confidence or over intelligence, but whatever it is, I didn't quit my job.
All right, check out all the polls in Wicked Prophecy. You've got a full art box topper, 1 of 5 which are glass foil, which is crazy.
Do you have a glass foil?
This is a glass foil from
Did you bend it?
No, I didn't. I got graded. This is a glass. It's hard to show because see how it's glass foily? See that? Yeah, that's a glass foil. So that's a glass foil from the test packs. But so you have a chase in the box topper. So not only do you get a box topper, but 1 of 5 of them are glass foil. So one per almost.
So there's a box topper chase.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool.
And those are full art.
We
already talked about full arts. People like them. People don't like them. We talked about it last week. Then you have Cryptic Clue Card, 1 in 10 packs. So Cryptic Clue Card is going to have just the cryptic text name of the citizen, or maybe it's not the name of the citizen. Maybe there are other clue things. But there's some sort of cryptic text on it. 1 in 10 packs. Then you have Noble Rares, which is just typical, right? You had this in Wave 2. It was a little bit more rare, I think, in Wave 2. But in this set, foil Noble Rares will be 1 in 15 packs. So that's the highest rarity of card is a Noble Rare. So in foil, you get 2 per box, basically. Then you have a Cosmo foil version of the cards that are 1 in 30 packs. So this is basically what was the full arts and Kickstarter. You have Cosmo foil version, which is really cool. Then you have the cryptic text chase cards, which is typical. We've seen these in the silver and green in Kickstarter at similar rarities, but now you have an uber rare one in the purple. So you have 3 different variants of the cryptic text. And then you have serialized. It just keeps going. It doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. It just
finish this statement. It's the only one that matters.
And then you have serialized Noble Rare parallels, 1 in 10, 1 in 50, and 1 in 100 of all the Noble Rares. And then the last thing, and this is, I'm super stoked about this. Oh, no, hold on. No, this isn't it. This is what I'm stoked about. You have of 6 hand-signed cards, which we've seen. And then you have handmade art cards, which we've seen other games starting to include this too, where these are actual painted cards included in the set. They're not prints. They're actual. You get the artwork when you open up the pack. Super duper cool of this. That are 66 total in the print run of 10,000 boxes. And then you have a lore card in every cut. So you haven't seen this before. I want to know your thoughts off the cuff.
If everything is special, nothing is special.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
There's just something I've heard you say about Magic for the last year now. So
well, that's like there's only foils and non-foils, and there's so many foils that foils aren't special anymore. What do you mean by that here? There's too much chase. Like if everything is rare,
there's a lot of chase. Now, I think my take on this is that's really good. I think people have got themselves into a position in their trading card games life. Most people who are going to interact with this are familiar with trading card games, in my opinion. And if you're familiar with trading card games, you're used to opening shiny stuff in packs. So having chase like this is good as long as you can tell, like it pops when you open the pack. Like, oh, this is good. This is special. So I like this model.
Yeah.
I love what Cryptic has done here. This is a big win for Tanner as far as I'm concerned. I'm wondering how you're going to balance your take on this.
So
Because we've ramped this up to 11. It's the opposite of sorcery.
what do you mean?
I'm in.
They are adding more and more chase. And instead of trying to keep the normal card special and make people pick up on stuff like that, we're adding more special variants, more chases, more reason to open the box, more shiny things.
So a couple things. Number one, whenever you have parallels, I think it helps the community figure out the value of cards in one hand. So in other words, if a 1 of 10 sells for $200, you can come up with a rough estimate for a 1 of 100 then, right? Like, because you can do the math, right? You can do the math based on rarity, and it might not be perfect, but I do think like that's a win for those things. I think that there is almost too many polls here. Like at some point, there's too many versions of cards.
You had to go one way or the other. I was curious, which way was it going?
I do think like particularly in the clue cards and like the clue cards
Sure.
seem not. I don't think there will be any value in those. Like I don't think collectors are going to be like, you know what I want to collect is the 1 in 10 pack clue cards, because they're just not. They're not. It's almost like the borderless cards in Magic. So you have the borderless and the extended art.
So
I just don't.
I love that they did glass foil. The glass foil and the box toppers.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Well, I don't care. I wasn't here, so it doesn't really count to me.
Welcome to the podcast.
Should I get my better card? Should I get my glass card that's better than yours?
Yeah, go get it. Go. We would love for you to leave again on the podcast. It'd be great.
I love the purple text.
I think you skipped over something, Louis.
What
like
is?
most people, you talked about, hey, these are the big heavy hitter collectibles. I think what you're 1 in 10, 1 in every 10 packs do, they give people at all different levels an opportunity to find something to collect. It might not hit. The community might decide it doesn't want it. But now anybody at essentially several different price values, I don't want to say any monetary value, but anyone can find something to collect. And the 1 in 10s are going to fill a gap that would otherwise just have nothing in it.
It also means every box will feel good to open.
Yeah, but you already have the foil noble rare that's 1 in 15 packs and the Cosmo foil that's 1 in 30 packs. So you already have 3 other cards that you're going to pull that are going to be in that slot.
Yeah, but the 1 in 30 you can't guarantee you'll hit in every box, right? And if you start getting into
36 packs per box,
you'll likely, but 1 in 30 is really close to that where you have a dud box where you don't hit it, right? You need more than one card in a box to make the box. You make people want to open the box.
You'll also feel good, like the odds of you hitting something if you open a pack is higher too. Like,
yeah,
that's fair.
Like,
that's fair.
I think more hits, more better. Bring them on, baby. I'm in.
I'm not all there. I do think that this is
Louis. This is a struggle for you, dude. I can see it in your eyes.
You have to flood one of the games that you pump nonstop. Which one will it be, Louis? Give us the lowdown.
I'm allowed to not like everything. Listen,
how is it like having a conversation being made fun of but not berated for 20 minutes?
Yeah, no freaking crap. When I'm positive, I get criticized for only pumping, and when I have any semblance of negative, I'm fudding it up.
That's the pump and dump. It's the pump and dump. You can't just do the pump.
Josh gets
you got to also do the dump, dude.
There's no dumping here.
I know.
I'd rather pump it. I want you to go to GameGrove.gg and buy it. That's what I want you to do.
GamerGrove.gg, we're there, baby.
I do really like that they did. This is one thing I think is really cool. They did cold foils for the cryptic chase cards, and I'm going to tell you why.
I love that everybody's on the cold foil train.
Everybody,
mainly Lorcana, though.
Lorcana only cold foil.
I'm in.
Here's one of the main reasons I like this, because on the regular foil version from the crappy Canadian printer that they were using, you could barely tell what the card looked like. You could the cryptic text was so dark.
Canadian printer.
Are these printed USA?
Dirty.
Yeah, this is USA. This is printed in Texas, baby. The cards are going to be freaking gigantic.
Everything's more bigger USA than Texas.
You're going to have to buy double-sized sleeves to play with your game because it was printed.
And they're going to be sold at Buc-ee's. That's what people don't know yet. That's the scoopy. Buc-ee's will carry this game probably.
Is that true?
No.
God, that'd be
not at all.
It's so cool.
Tanner needs to get on that, though. This is a freedom-loving game made by a freedom-loving person, printed in a freedom-loving state, covered in barbecue sauce.
But let me tell you
what's more bookies than that.
Back to the cold foils. First off, it's super cool that it's colored cold foil. I think that's really cool. But I like because it will shine really well on the card. You'll be able to tell a lot more clearly that the card's special, as opposed to just the regular hollow foil where it's like it just doesn't stand out. This is what I mean, frankly, what I loved about Sorcery's etched foil. Like it was like extruded, like it just popped really, really well when you were holding it. I think you'll see that kind of thing on this too. I'm allowed to like both games, George. You're not going to convince me.
I'm with you. I think that both have great business models, even though they're exactly opposite.
I'm out until it's a gilded foil.
This is not 2021 where you're gonna make me fight between two games. I'm allowed to like both.
I agree.
Games.
Both business plan makes a ton of sense, even though they're exact opposite. That makes a lot of sense.
This was not about the business plan. This is about the freaking cards. Some of it's just like the cards. It's not all about business.
Yeah, that's what you're known for is your gameplay content. That's a great point, Louis. That's a great point.
He makes gameplay. I think he makes more gameplay content than me right now.
That's probably true. That's
probably not true because all you do now is make shorts.
Dude, my shorts have.
That's all you do. You're basically
Louis the
shorts
are slapping. Listen, shorts is the way. You need to get on the train, baby.
Did I tell you I almost parodied your short the other day and did guess the card, win the card with my 7-month-old baby daughter?
That's great. Anyway, I think it's cool. I think there's a lot of different versions. That's definitely something I think Cryptic already has, frankly. That's just their DNA of Cryptic. You have full arts, you have Patreon full arts, you have foils. Now you have a million different versions of every card.
It's called hits. People like hits.
What?
Unpopular opinion, bad take, but it's what I believe. Or it's my opinion. I don't like the handmade art cards in games. I'm not a huge fan.
Really?
Yeah,
dude.
I know it's wrong. I'm aware that it's wrong. Yeah. It's just not for me.
Love it.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's a really cool way to include the artists, and I think it's cool because you can do different styles that you wouldn't put in. You can allow your artists to do different styles that you wouldn't typically include in the game. I think that's a really big win. Like you're not gonna like that. The Allegor that's right there. Allegor, you guys don't know, but is the guy who looks like a devil with a purple coat. Like that card looks sick. Like, but you would never see that.
I don't like the imagery of it.
This is awkward. So.
Did y'all miss me when I was on the phone call?
No. So
you have no idea what you were saying now.
I know what I was gonna say, but I bit my tongue.
Wall.
All right. George killed the mid. Let's change topic.
Welcome to my life.
Let's talk about sorcery.
Not freedom loving, not covered in barbecue sauce.
I want to shout out Sorcery. They sent me starter decks.
Can you fold a card?
I haven't opened any of them yet because I just got them
for people's entertainment.
You haven't opened it yet?
No, yes, I've opened it.
I opened that thing 30 seconds after I got it. You and I are very different. Wow. Are you really?
So shout out Sorcery. I haven't opened any of them yet. No, I'm not going to sit here for the next 20 minutes while I figure out how to unbox these things.
How's the card quality? There it is. That's all I wanted in life.
Ooh, wow.
Louis, can you please make sure to comment on it?
Wow.
Louis, comment on it.
Guys, can you see the card quality? I want you guys to know.
Oh my God, I didn't realize you could fold it.
It looks like the card quality is really good. It looks like it's very
nice card quality.
It looks like it's sturdy and well done.
It is. They do. They feel quality. To their credit, they feel great.
It's cool. Are you gonna learn to play? You wanna do a little learn to play video?
I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told Sorcery when they reached out. Full-time job, dead. 5 to 6 videos a week. Probably not gonna play that much.
Gotcha. You should try quitting your job. Then you'd have time for that.
Yeah, Josh, have you thought about that? You could open up a failing game store.
My daughter likes to eat.
We made 4 cents per box on Aftermath this week.
Before these.
In fact, sitting here with you guys for 2 hours is pushing it.
Yeah, that follows.
I am single-handedly giving TCG Player the ability to keep going. Thank you, eBay. All right, so Sorcery did their update. It seems like Canada is getting boxes as early as next week, according to my Canadian source, who has
Which
tracking.
is this sorcery update?
Well, I have a guy who said I'm looking at the boxes and I think I'm getting my boxes next week because he is going to send me a case. I'm very excited about it.
Are you going to send him a case back when you get your box?
Same time worldwide?
Yes, Josh, I am. That is the deal.
Well, okay. You're American, dude.
Thank
Just
you.
take it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Send
Shout
him
out-
back
shout
a
out to-
6-pack of Coors Light.
Shout out to Fallen. Thank you for your case. I will not be sending you another case back. Thank you for your
I'll send you a
Amazing.
6 or a Bud Light.
Welcome
though.
to freedom, son.
welcome to freedom. Thank
You
you for
got
your
freedom.
And some
You got
fireworks and a
freedom.
6-shooter.
Welcome to America. You don't give people things with expected return.
You got freedom, buddy.
Yes, he is just letting me have boxes to open for content, and then I will send him a sealed case.
Where can that content be found?
Kitchen Table TCG. Hit that subscribe button, baby. You can buy your beta boxes at GameGrove.gg.
Okay, I like how we're talking about them giving the Canucks all the boxes without talking about the more important thing, which is they got distro.
They haven't announced that yet.
Oh, I got an email from distro saying they got them, so like they better hop to it. Like
They haven't announced it yet. So
who?
Is this
The
going to come
distro
from the
announced it.
podcast?
Why
or
do
is
they
this-
have to
wait,
announce
wait.
it?
Did the
this
one
isn't going
time
to come from
George-
the podcast. I didn't say it.
Did George
it's-
give a Scoopy with
not really a
accidentally?
Scoopy.
It's not a
Finally?
Scoopy. I gotta ask my distro how many boxes I want. Which I, like,
That is also true. That is fair. We did get asked by Distro how many boxes we want.
This is your
Wait.
first non-Facebook Scoopy ever.
It's not a Scoopy, for the record.
It is.
neither was a Facebook message. That was a Facebook post. And the prices look great from distro. Looks good. They deserve credit for that. They got a good distro. They got a major distro. The prices seem reasonable from distro. That's a big thing for them. It's a big win. That's a dub.
Just burn the bridge all the way. Which distro?
I mean, like, I think I can say that, can't I?
I have no clue.
I have no idea. You're the one that seems to know what you can and
I'm
can't
not
say when
trying
it
to
comes to distro.
instigate chaos. The
I
other
am.
day-
I
today-
am instigating chaos.
I'm all one.
My
I am
wife-
all
I
in.
want
Listen,
everybody to know
listen.
this. I hope everything down. I can also get Lorcana and Cryptic and Magic and Pokemon from distribution. I know. I hope you're all sitting down for that. How is this a big deal that they have a distributor?
I don't know. Anytime we mention distro, you normally freak out. So I just wanted to jump on the
Cool.
bandwagon.
No,
this
no,
week.
I
They
can't
are-
mention
They
prices.
are, they are available. It's
But they're
great.
very good prices.
They're good prices. I thought it was like, listen, I'm being positive, and I can't win with you two bozos. Like, listen, like I thought the prices were reasonable from distribution. I think that's good.
I'm hyping you up. I'm trying to
Yeah,
tell
I
you to
appreciate
do
that,
more.
Josh.
Say
You get
more.
it.
Say more.
I mean this in
don't
the
know.
most
Say more, King.
loving way possible. You are the worst friend that has ever existed.
How? I'm pumping your game. If you
Talk
want
your truth,
beta,
King.
you can go to gamergrove.gg and you can get boxes from distribution there.
I
I'm
thought
gonna-
you finally
from
got the
me?
.com though. I thought you finally got the
No,
.com.
I didn't get the .com. So anyway, boxes of alpha are delayed everywhere else. We're looking
But
at.
Maple Syrup Land.
We're looking
And
at,
for Louis personally, apparently.
Oh,
because he's got
that's
friends in
right.
low
my
places
I hate talking about sorcery with you two. I
where
hate
the
it.
whiskey
I hate it. It's
drowns and the
impossible.
beer chases.
The blues away.
I think it
Go
does look,
USA.
Yes. Remix.
All right. So let's talk about Genesis from Death to Life.
You have like
We
5
have-
minutes before
we
your
have
kid
5
can go.
minutes.
Yep, I have 5 minutes. Let's
Okay.
get into it.
This might take more than 5 minutes. Do you want us
Let's
to do
go.
this next week?
5 minutes. Get it in.
I think we
get
should do it
out.
next week. George, tease it.
All right, next week we're going to go over a fractured group. 200 players split amongst 15 new card games, all fighting for the same 200 players.
I
that
thought we
existed
were the
6
fractured
months
group
ago.
for a second.
What are you talking about?
Come back next week to figure out which group will be victorious. Spoiler, none of them will be.
So Genesis got bought apparently
So-
by a game store.
Maybe, but
Maybe.
not a game store, importantly. It'd be like if gamergrove.gg bought gamergrove.com. I was like, gamergrove.gg doesn't own it. GamerGrove.com buys it. I don't know.
And now the game's name is Convergence?
Nope, inaccurate. The group that bought it now owned Genesis.
Why did the Genesis
I'm
Discord
not there yet.
and why did my Discord channel called Genesis get changed to Convergence?
You suck at story time, dude. He's gonna tell you.
Yeah, thank you.
I just was listening to
There's another game called Convergence, which happens to have the old Genesis designer, which is making a game that is the next version of Genesis.
Is this the same guy that spoiled all the cards for the next Genesis set?
I don't want to say anything because he's getting in some hot water about that, which he should not. Team Alex.
So there was some TCG drama amongst the approximately 30 people who care about that.
So here's what's amazing. The people who bought the IP don't have the game designer or the community creators for the game. So they have this dead IP that there's now a live IP. But
George,
nothing I guess they technically might own the rights to Invasions, the next set for Genesis. And they've made it clear that they're like, we only bought the assets, but not the debt. They're trying to. I don't think that's how that works, to be candid. Like, you can't sell a house and be like, oh, I sold the house, but not the mortgage along with it. Well, no, you got to pay off the mortgage first. This isn't rocket surgery.
I need to lean into your business acumen.
What's rocket surgery?
You've never heard rocket science combined with brain surgery called rocket surgery?
No, because when I say that, you make fun of me. I say that all the time, and you make fun of me. So why do you get to say it?
God, you're so sensitive today.
I have an important question. I need your business acumen.
I'm in.
Does this go back on the shelf or not, George?
No.
Does this mean anything?
No.
I threw it onto the casting couch once.
The great part about having two different games compete for a small player pool is it means none of them can make money. And none of them can survive.
So I went across the room and got this, and it's still dead?
I think there's
it's
something.
Technically not dead anymore.
Let me be the voice of reason.
Again.
Can I be the voice of reason?
Yes, go for it. This will be great.
There are people who love Genesis. They're in my Discord server. There are
100%.
There are approximately 2 active channels in my Discord server. One of which is the Genesis Convergence Discord server. There are people who love this, and
I love Genesis.
If you are one of those people, my advice to you is to play old Genesis with your friends the way that was played, and create a little community of people who enjoyed the game that you used to love, and don't worry about all this drama. When all this drama ends and somebody owns the company and somebody's making the game and this is existing, then engage with it. Why did he leave?
Because your take was stupid.
Why? Why put yourself in this
because
world?
Because people are playing the game, I had to go get the box again because I was told it was dead, but then you just encouraged me to play the game. So I don't know what to do with the box, man.
You never even opened your box. You don't even care about it. You just want to stick it on a shelf like a hoarder.
Wait, Josh, can you please go get it and fold the card in half? I need to see something.
It will break.
It will fracture into 1,000 pieces.
We just need some guidance, guys.
I just don't understand.
So, here's the trick.
This is why I don't understand. There's 50 players. Why care about the drama? Why wrap yourself up in this drama?
I am in love with this drama for one reason. One side owns the money stuff. The other owns everything else. And I have no idea how this plays out. I have no idea how you have the game without the designer.
Yeah.
I think this would be interesting to get into.
This is
I know we're short on time.
Timeline that's very interesting to me. Because Convergence is we're still plowing ahead. We will have a new game in it'll be the next iteration of Genesis. They can't say that obviously, but it'll be a tactical card game that will feel familiar.
And they have the community support.
The problem is the community is split, and this is the problem. They need all right, I'll get serious for a minute. I'll give some real advice, which I don't like to do. I like to laugh and make fun of Louis. I do that well. The fat cat money guys, they need to call the designer and make peace. I sound like there might be some bad blood. I'm not privy to that. I don't frankly want to be privy to that. You're not going to design Genesis without the designers or the community members who are active. Like, you got to bring them in, or you have nothing. You have an IP that left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
Yeah.
Like, you have to find a way to bring back the things that people like if you want them to continue with the game. This seems kind of obvious to me, if I'm being honest. You're not going to, if they go to market and Convergence comes to market, they're both not going to sell 500 boxes, I don't think.
I agree with that.
Like, they need to have a unified front, and they need to have a way to grow the game.
I mean, why would you touch this with a 10-foot pole at a
100%.
store? Like,
100%.
It makes no sense.
What store could carry this? Either one of them right now.
Yeah. It's wild.
Like, they both need to figure this out rather quickly, or else it's just going to implode again. At least this time, the game will get the death it deserves versus a sad man's kind of weird lyric quoting on a front page with no warning while he doesn't pay his staff, allegedly.
Okay. Let's finish up. MetaZoo NFT boxes.
I saw you dumping after you pumped them.
I never pumped them, first of all. When did I pump them? I was able to sell 3 of them. I'm keeping the other ones. $275 a box?
No, how many did you
5.
get, Boo Boo?
I think
you're almost there.
I think 5 was the maximum. Oh, I'm not selling the rest of them. I'm not selling the rest of them.
Are you gonna open them on stream?
No.
Only Aftermath?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
It is a Magic channel. That's what I'm. Maybe
that is not what I've been seeing. Just so you know.
Maybe you didn't catch that.
No, I didn't, because I've seen a lot of other games pop up lately.
You didn't catch it. Like, the primary focus is Magic. These are cool though. These are cool.
Focus.
This is cool because it makes I was thinking about this last night, because everyone is like, Argos was streaming. He had like 100 people watching. Like, everyone's super interested in what these are. And it's really good advertising for the NFTs, which, say what you want about NFTs, but it's good advertising for them.
People love NFTs.
The people who have the PFPs are all watching every video to see if their PFP gets pulled, which is a really, really cool scenario that MetaZoo has created for this. I think that's a win. The engagement in the community has been really high on this as a result of it being so connected to these things that everybody has. Josh will hate it, because there's no gameplay focus to it at all. But
Josh hates everything. Doesn't matter.
okay, Josh.
True.
Didn't see you there.
I did. Yeah, looks like fun. How many packs are in a box? One? How many come?
There's 6 packs, and this is the negative. There's 6 packs and another pack that has a redeemable card in it. And there's
That's anything.
This is baffling to me, but there's currently no way to redeem that card.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait,
yeah.
What?
I know what you're saying. You would think that before you release a product, you have a way of redeeming the card.
So wait,
but
why can't you redeem the card?
There's nowhere to redeem it. You get a code, and there's nowhere to put the code in.
All right, so Mike, I got an idea for you. Put the website on gamergrove.gg and put the redeem code there. I got your back. So it's just a code that you can't what's it supposed to be? And
nobody knows what they are. They are saying that the full set boxes, which do have a different box to them, have different codes in them. The codes are exclusive to those boxes. But there's no way.
What's the code supposed to give you?
There's really no information. The best we know is that it's an exclusive PFP. Okay. Maybe a new PFP set that's not out yet.
I want people to know I'm in on this. I think this is awesome. I want to collect the set before they're released.
The set? There's no set to collect. Every card is unique.
I'm so wait, there's no. I have no idea what to say to this. Really?
There's nowhere to redeem it. You just open the pack, you scratch the code up, you get your code, and right now there's nowhere to redeem it. And nobody really knew that. There was no everyone opened the box and everyone's asking where can we redeem this? And the answer is you can at some point in the future. for a new PFP set is I think really the thing. But the full token set is another avenue of like we don't know what it is still. It's like some sort of exclusive NFT in the full token set on the redeemable that nobody knows and there's nowhere to redeem. I'm just spitting what is accurate. That is the accurate as of today, which is Wednesday. That is the accurate information.
Do you think you'll get your sorcery box first, or will you get your PFP from MetaZoo first?
I'll get sorcery boxes first, but they'll come from Canada.
That's a good call. All right, Tyler, if you can also help give Louis his PFP from MetaZoo, that'd be great.
Yeah. Wild. Absolutely wild, though.
Because Tyler's got to need the boxes, right?
It's Fallen. I think it's Taylor. So
Taylor.
They both start with a T. But anyway, people are still super excited about the PFP thing, which I think is a win. It's pretty cool. All right, Josh, everything okay, buddy? We missed you.
I did not. That's wild.
I gotta say, I liked the 20 minutes that George was gone much more than I liked the 5 minutes that Josh was gone.
I had an actual potential family emergency.
Well, I assume everything's fine because you're here now, so I feel like I can make jokes about it.
That's why I said, well, and George wouldn't matter.
No,
family member dies, the man in mourning.
Yeah. What do you think the cards are going for?
Was that a what was that a joke about? Was that a joke about George's? Never mind.
No, when I lost a family member that week on the podcast, George called me the man in mourning.
It was a shout out. It was a shout out. It was a shout out to sympathy.
It was something.
This has got to be
what are the cards
worst
going for?
podcast.
What are the cards going for?
I don't know how much the cards are going for. The boxes are selling for like $175 for the regular ones and $275 for the full set ones. I think there was a sold listing for $350 on eBay for the full set ones. But
I'd be interested in I want the redeemable cards. I bet you they're not going to go for a ton. I bet you they will go for more when they.
The PFPs cost about $150 when people bought them. So hypothetically, if you value the PFP at half the value of what they used to be, it'd be $75.
Shout out to ETH.
Yeah. So
a lot of shout outs this episode.
Crypto podcast. Let's go.
All right, one more shout out. Shout out to the end of the episode, everyone. Thank you for watching with us and for I was gonna say learning, but we're not dumb enough to think you learned anything here. Thanks for hanging out with us and watching the content. Remember to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Make sure you go to Josh's channel at Hometown TCG. Make sure you go to GameGrove.gg and buy all my product for me so I can feed my family. And
you can pay your family?
feed.
You definitely said pay, right?
I heard feed.
Yeah. I'm not paying my family. And
they work for free for me.
And make sure you message George with all your Lorcana purchases. And all the other games that he's dumping. Be kind to the people around you, and we'll see you guys next episode.
And also with you. And also with you.
Yeah, and also with you.
And also with you. You nailed it.
May the zoo be with you.
No, you killed it.
I'm out.
I'm mourning the end of this episode. Josh gets it.